What is up, my friends? Welcome back to Pretty Eff'n Curious. My name is Scott, and I appreciate you coming back. And if you're not like coming back and this is your first time, welcome. I do, I'd probably say it's like random stuff, but today we're gonna talk about passport bros. I heard that it was a big thing. And one of my friends showed me this video. I'm sure there's probably already a lot of like responses to this video out there. And if I looked, I could probably find a bunch. But I figured since I have a passport and I have dated people internationally, that I might have somewhat of a different take on the situation. So let's listen to some of this.
Overseas. So what are these women saying about the men?
Passport bros go to third world countries and purchase little girls and turn her into a breeding mare. They're little girls, you're sick.
Hey,
That's funny. Um, what I don't like. Where is she getting that information from? I don't think I dated any little girls when I went over there, and there's a lot of times where in different cultures, like they'll get married at 18, 19, 20, and it's totally acceptable to have kids at like 21, 22. I know it's not as acceptable for us sometimes. Like if you're 21, you have kids, people are kind of like, "Whoa, that was pretty quick." But over there, I think that it's pretty normal. So, and they're not like little girls, and you're not paying for them. It's the same dating mechanism that we have here. You ask somebody out, you go on a date. Usually the guy pays because that's how it is. And then, well, I don't know about the Philippines, but I'm talking about more like Europe, Eastern Europe, uh, England, stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
who you calling a little girl?
That's funny. It's best
Yes.
place.
Anyway, so what's the problem? Well, let's listen to how one woman describes the passport bro phenomenon.
Black women, are you ready? Apparently, there's a group of, you guessed it, black men who have grown weary of the quote control that black women have over them. So they've decided to seek dominance elsewhere, and that's in the form of traveling to third world countries to seek a bride. What's at play here is that these dusty, mediocre at best so called men have finally come to the realization that black women are no longer willing to settle for the bare minimum and are choosing to stay single and maintain their peace. If that
If 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 they're wanting to maintain the peace and stay single, like why do they even care? They're going somewhere else to look for people. I mean, they're they're probably just trying to look for people that are a little bit more willing to have like a relationship as opposed to dictatorship, like sometimes being strong and independent and opinionated isn't something that somebody wants. I don't know. Like let them have their choice. What the hell?
divesting to desperate and disenfranchised women is so great, why do you all have to make an announcement, a grand announcement? Oh, I know why. Because you actually think that this will hurt black women. So, sayonara, arrivederci, adios.
Are there people like making this announcement just to hurt other groups of people?
Okay, so the undesirable, dusty, mediocre, at best, so-called men want to get away from you? I wonder why you want to do that. You sound really sweet and not bitter at all. As for why the passport
bitter.
bros want to announce their intentions, maybe they're not trying to hurt women. They're just letting other men know that leaving is an option. But if you want to make it all about you,
Yeah,
be
I
my
mean, that
guest.
makes sense.
So how does this next lady describe the movement?
I am not mad about black men getting their passports and paying to play overseas. I just truly want to help these men to see logic and reason. A man that's looking to marry a foreign woman went to an event wearing a top hat. Brother, are you serious? You look ridiculous. And you're clearly undesirable, but I'm sure that you blame black women for your lack of what it takes to attract them. But you want to go overseas where women are unaware culturally of your nature and pay them to pretend while you give them nothing but money and a wet behind. They aren't marrying these women. The men in this movement are largely undesirable.
I don't understand why people think this way. It's the same kind of thing where, there's a lot of women that say that they can't step into their femininity unless they're with a guy that could be masculine to them. And so maybe it's the same for these guys. Like they don't feel like they can be in a good, healthy relationship unless they kind of change who they're trying to be in relationships with. I don't
Desirables
understand.
or men that want to use a woman freely without her giving any pushback. No, I'm not mad that certain men have decided to go out of the country looking for their next victim. I'm completely okay with that.
I'm not mad, but I'm mad.
I'm getting some mixed signals here. You say you're fine if the men want to leave, but then you call him ridiculous, clearly undesirable, and claim they're just using women. You say you're just trying to help. But that sounds more like but that's just not true. Well, after what
women to the point of basically being used for their uterus and domestic capacity. The passport bros want to put them to work in the bedroom and home.
yes, the claim that
Yeah, I don't understand how that's a thing because it's just it's literally like you're not able to go over somewhere and pay somebody to just like I mean, maybe you are, but I don't see that as the reason why people are like I think people just want to have relationships. I don't know this whole like what do you bring to the table? What am I bringing to the table? Da, 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 da. Back in the day, it was just I get to be with you and experience the things with you. Like now it's turned into this whole big fight of like, oh, he only brings in 100K. Oh, she doesn't bring me food when I ask her to. Oh, this, that, da, da, da. How about just enjoying each other? Like whatever happened to that shit? Like just enjoy each other's freaking company. Yeah.
The
Jeez.
guys are coming over here so they can turn women into slaves and force us to work in the
No, that doesn't
bedroom while they
happen.
impregnate us. Diabolical. You seem to think we're mindless idiots with no will of our own. We might be
Exactly.
traditional women, but we're not empty-headed. You may not know this, but in the Philippines, women actually have quite a bit of say-so in the household. Just talk to some of the foreigners that are married to us.
Probably more than the guy. Like I could see the Filipino women just taking care of the house and being in charge of the household, and that's it.
But I suppose you know my culture better than I do, right? And as far as turning us into incubators, you've got that completely backwards. 99% of the time, it's the Filipina begging the foreigner to have a baby. Where are you getting this stuff from? Next.
But
There
you
you
have to
go.
understand, a lot of us, 46, be 47 soon, each day that goes by makes me more grateful that I'm divorced. I thank God every day that I'm divorced. If you want to get your passport and go overseas, you're welcome to it. Bye. I mean, maybe there you'll find women who are okay with being treated like doormats. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's treating who like doormats? I mean,
I'm sure you're very happy with your
like
choices and
what?
the way you've carefully crafted your life to end up alone. But you think foreign guys treat us like doormats? Lady, you have no clue. Foreigners have the general reputation of being more caring and attentive than anything we've ever known. Who told you otherwise? Or maybe you're just making assumptions again. What else you got?
Passport bros are nothing but a bunch of pedophiles who's traveling across the world to
What?
get young girls. It's pedophilia tourism.
Nothing but
No.
pedophiles?
Like where is that coming from? It's not like we're trying to go overseas and be with some like 12-year-old girl or something. Like what? Like, where are these people getting their information
Nothing
from?
but? Which means that all the guys who look for partners outside their country are pedophiles? That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. But
Yeah,
you made the
thank
claim,
you.
so you have the burden of backing it up. So please,
Yeah,
give us
back it
the
up.
evidence. Show your data.
Yeah,
I've been
where's it
living
at?
here 30 years, and the women that
Show
foreigners
me.
choose are adults like me. And in case you didn't know, buying little girls is completely illegal. The
Yeah,
fact is, the
exactly.
vast majority of passport bros are coming here
Jeez.
for a real relationship with a woman, not to molest a child. What's wrong with you? And why would you accuse your own men like that?
And it's scientifically proven that younger women, like 25, 26, 27, are probably going to have a better chance of having a healthy baby than when you get into like 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 45, you know? So if that's what you're equating it to, there's still not, young girls. Jeez,
It's
what the?
2022. You're talking about a freaking passport. I've had one of these since I was 2. Y'all acting like they just came up with these in 2022. I'm gonna go over and get me a woman to be able to abuse her. Ain't nobody gonna do y'all understand how people feel about Americans? That just goes to show you ain't been nowhere. So y'all think y'all gonna run your broke asses over to other countries and they go, oh, these some black canes from America. Most people don't like Americans. They think that we are overrated. They think that we're better than everybody else. They don't like us. They don't like us. They sure not gonna like you if they know.
I mean, it's not totally not true. I've been to a lot of places where people think that Americans are rude and loud and boisterous and just not really overall enjoyable to be around. But I've been to a lot of places where people actually like that about Americans because it opens it up and people talk to you easier because you're outgoing and outspoken and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's kind of half and half, but I could kind of see where she's coming from on that.
That you're getting your passport so you can come over there and abuse their women. That as a black man, if you want to roll up in some of these other countries and try to abuse their sisters and their daughters and their nieces and their mothers and taking them out.
I don't think anybody's trying to go over and abuse people though. Like where are they getting all this information from? Like we're guys with passports that go over there looking for relationships or looking for kids apparently, and they're looking to abuse women. Like what? Where is this coming from?
Toe tagging 4.5 of them a day, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get hacked up with a machete.
Exactly,
I mean,
lady.
yeah, you're gonna
If you
get
come
hacked
over
up.
here and start abusing women, you will get hacked up by a machete. I assure you. If you come over here and abuse me, my dad's got a nice big blade with your name on it. And how many passport bros have gotten hacked up? 0. So I
Yeah.
guess that proves they're not here to abuse us.
Yeah.
Funny how that little thing called logic works, isn't it?
Weird.
My question is, how do you not feel slimy and disgusting as a person, knowing full well that you are going to another country, seeking out women that you perceive as easier to manipulate, easier to control?
I don't think it's easier to manipulate or easier to control. It's just they're more open to having relationships. Like Oh my gosh, dude. I went to I was in Poland for a month and a half. I went on, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 dates. And if I showed up in like a hoodie and not that good of shoes, I mean, they didn't automatically judge me. Like obviously they didn't like it as much as if I showed up in like nice shoes and like slacks and stuff, but it wasn't automatically a judgment. Like they weren't like, okay, this is over. You know, you can't handle me because you don't make such and such, whatever. And whenever I would meet people like at the park for walks or something, like they would bring me food. I wouldn't ask them, but they would say, okay, this is going to be a long walk. Maybe you want some food. Like I don't see women here doing that. I'm just saying, where they at?
And easier to take advantage of. And even if you do find some poor woman that needs a green card, wants to move to the US, or, needs money, that's
Like all these women that I dated, they don't want to move. They want to stay over there. So like they're interested in me as a person and they want to have a relationship with somebody, obviously. But they're not saying like, hey, take me to the United States. I want to get a green card. Hey, da, da, da.
still not love. So on that note, safe travels, and I hope that you and all the other passport bros get exactly what you're looking for.
Of course, the famous "she just wants a green card" argument. I get so tired of this one because,
Yeah.
contrary to what you all seem to think, most Filipinos are happy to stay right here in the Philippines.
Yeah,
If our
and
partner
it's the
says he
same in
wants to
Europe.
live here, that's
They
fine
want to
with
be close
us.
to their
We're
family.
really not
I
all that
mean,
demanding. We just want a roof over our heads and a meal on the table. So what other insults you got?
You want to know what your problem is? Your entire life you were
this
told
is the
that
same shit.
skinny is good and fat is the worst possible thing that you could be. You're not able to wrap your head around fat people being comfortable in the skin that they're in.
So I don't think it's a problem with not being comfortable, the fat people being comfortable in their skin. It is medically proven that they're gonna have more health problems. It's like, what?
Because you're uncomfortable in the skin that you're in. Fat women wear outfits that you won't even wear because you're ashamed of your stretch marks. They wouldn't even give you a second look. The truth is, fat was never a bad thing. And once we figure that out, you'll never be able to put us back in that box again. You can have it. I'm sure it'll be a much better fit for you.
Ah, Achilles.
It's not a bad thing. It's your lifestyle, it's your choice, but it is scientifically more unhealthy than if you took care of your weight. I mean,
Two birds with one stone. Shame the men for not wanting large women, and shame skinny women for being skinny. Brilliant. But I'm not sure you're gonna convince men they've just been taught not to like fat women. And you're definitely not gonna convince me that I'm secretly jealous of you because I can't wear your clothes. But nice try. This is fun. What's next?
Someone who comes from one of these third world countries, the men go to pick up women, we know they're losers. We know that they go over there because they cannot get anyone in here. And if these men go over there thinking that these women want to build a family with them, that these passport bros want these women for sex, these women want them for money. And again, they deserve to be scammed. We know they're losers. We know that they cannot get any women in here, that's why they go over there. And the same thing with the women. But let's not worry.
War.
okay, so that's not totally untrue. There's a lot of women that scam people with passports that come over looking for relationships and stuff. You just have to look out for it. But there are genuine women that are trying to have relationships with guys that are trying to have relationships. I mean,
Boring. Calling guys losers and saying they can get a woman in the West is a
yeah,
tired old insult that just doesn't work. Because what you don't seem to realize is that it's not that they can get a Western woman, it's that they don't want one.
Sir, on behalf of all black women everywhere, we absolutely do not give one solitary about you going to another country and finding a wife. Please go choose somebody else. And it never ends the way that y'all think it does. And I really feel sorry for those women. And so if they're willing to pump it up, because we know that little thing don't work no more, if they're willing to pump it up for y'all, have at it. Have a great day.
Won't
like, why are you so angry? Like, you're so angry that somebody's gonna go outside of the country and look for a relationship, and then you also say that they have erectile dysfunction. That's like, what? We ain't angry about it, but we know.
There it
Right.
is. When you're out of ammo, just take the easy way out and go for the low-hanging fruit of a guy's junk. Call him a limp biscuit, a wet noodle, a rumpled foreskin. I'm sure they'll actually hurt his feelings so bad he won't want to leave anymore.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure he'll totally
That'll definitely make them want to stay.
believe that you don't care if he does. I mean, you don't sound mad or anything. So that's the end of the insults, but in case you lost track, here's a recap. Men that look at other countries for love are undesirable losers. They're pedophiles whose only interest is purchasing children so they can abuse, dehumanize, and enslave them, and turn them into breeding mares and domestic robots. These sick men give their poor and desperate women nothing but a wet behind, and all they care about is controlling and molesting their victims with defective junk that has to be inflated with a tire pump. But the women aren't angry or upset at all. No, of course not. They're happy to see you go. So at this point, does anyone still wonder why these guys want to escape? Well, at least one woman gets it.
If you actually look at a passport bro, which I know many of them, they are not going over there to grape and conquer. They are going over there because they are giving up over here. The reality is that there are too
Yeah.
many women that are saying that they don't need men.
Yeah.
Men want to be needed. They want to feel valued like
I mean, like not even needed. Like just have a relationship, have a healthy relationship with somebody, you know?
They are protectors. They say that they're tired trying to find a woman in the United States, let alone a metropolitan area like LA or New York, where women say, I don't need a man, go away. Who do you think I am? My purpose in this is to defend the passport bros because they're not raping and pillaging and like doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
They just want a traditional woman.
And that's basically
Nice. Nice. Somebody gets it.
it. The passport bros are coming here for the exact same reason that so many other guys do. They just want to find a partner that loves them, and they've discovered a way to make it happen. So let's call an end to this war. The women say they don't care if the men leave because they're the unwanted ones anyway. So stop attacking men on their way out the door. Just
Is there even a war? I mean, like, this is people just angry because they think that this is actually what's going on when it's not actually what's going on. It's people just trying to have relationships. Like, people are just literally trying to have relationships, good relationships with other people. There are some people that want to have good relationships, but they don't know how to have a good relationship. And so guys are like, okay, well, I mean, that's going to be difficult. So let's not have a relationship with that person. Let's look for somebody who will have a relationship and it'll be a good relationship. And, you know, like not, I just I don't understand why this is a thing, man. This is crazy to me. Like, if you had the opportunity to find the love of your life somewhere, anywhere, wouldn't you go look? Like, wouldn't you go and try to find them? Like, that makes sense to me. But I don't understand.
let them
It's
go in
crazy.
peace to find happiness wherever they can. Well, that's it for this episode, folks.
All right, so that's cool. Thanks for having me go and look at this. It's mildly infuriating, and I don't feel like I fit any of those categories that any of those women said. But I have been overseas, and I have had relationships overseas, and it's like, bro, it's just regular dating. It's like if you're in California, you got a long distance relationship with somebody in like Missouri or something. Like, that's basically what it is, except you know the distance is a little bit longer. But if you guys are on the same page and you both want a relationship and it's healthy, I don't see why it's even a situation that it needs to be brought up. So that is my 2 cents. Thanks for having me look at this. Okay, the, that's it. All right, until next time. If you like this kind of insight, I don't know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that shit, and we will see you next time.